welcome to my channel Provocative Biofeed. I have already released a video about the digestive system. In that video, I was talking about what are the organs that are present in the digestive system and their main functions. Fine. So in this video, I am going to talk about the digestion of the food molecules in the human body. Okay, so before seeing this video, I request you to see that video first before seeing this, so that you can able to correlate with the points I am saying, and also you will understand better. Fine. So I have placed the link for that video in the description box. So please see that video first. Okay. Before entering into the channel, please subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell icon so that you will get the notifications of my upcoming videos. Fine. Okay. Now, before seeing the digestion of the food molecules, first let's learn the journey of the food in our body. Okay, how it travels in our body. As soon as it enters our mouth, as soon as your food enters your mouth, it reaches your buccal cavity. This opening is buccal cavity. Okay, so your buccal cavity, in the floor it has mouth, and in the roof it has palate. Lateral side it has tooth. Okay. So your buccal cavity is bounded by teeth, tongue and palate. Okay. As soon as your food enters your buccal cavity, it performs two type of functions. One is mastication of the food. What is mastication? Nothing but chewing and grinding of the food is called mastication. So number one is mastication of food. Number two is facilitation of swallowing. Okay. Your buccal cavity performs two functions. Number one is mastication of food. Number two, facilitation of swallowing. Okay, swallowing is also known by a term called deglutition. Okay, deglutition, swallowing, both are same. Fine. So now in your mouth you also have a salivary glands. Okay, there are three types of salivary glands are there: parotid gland, submandibular gland and sublingual gland. Okay, these three glands, they secrete saliva. With the help of your tongue and teeth, your saliva get mixed thoroughly with your food particles. Okay, your masticated food particles get mixed with the saliva with the help of tongue and teeth. Then it becomes into a bolus. How means mucus. It is a secretion that is present in your saliva. Okay, so that mucus acts as a lubricant. Lubricate means it smoothens your food particles. Fine. So that mucus, it lubricates and adheres your food particles together to form a bolus. That bolus, with the help of your tongue, it pushes back. Okay, your tongue pushes back your bolus into the pharynx. Then after the pharynx, your food goes to esophagus, which is a food pipe. Okay, in your esophagus, it contains some circular muscles, right? So successive waves of the muscular contraction causes the movement of your food molecules. That movement is called peristalsis. Okay, with the help of the peristaltic movement, your food reaches the stomach through gastroesophageal sphincter. Okay, it is a sphincter that is present between the esophagus and the stomach. Okay, because it controls the passage of food into the stomach. So this is the function of the gastroesophageal sphincter. Now the food is in the stomach. Okay, in the stomach, gastric juice. Okay, in the stomach, gastric juice is present. Fine. That juice mixes with the food with the help of the movement. Again, peristaltic movement occurs in the stomach. Here we need to call it as churning movements. Okay, churning movements occurs and your gastric juice get mixed with the food. Now food mixed with the gastric juice, it's call it as chyme. Okay, now the chyme goes to small intestine through pyloric sphincter, which is present between the stomach and the duodenum. Okay, duodenum is the first part of your small intestine. What are the other two parts? Jejunum and ileum. Okay, now your chyme, it reaches the duodenum. In the duodenum, you have three type of juices present there. One is intestinal juice. Number two, bile juice and pancreatic juice. Okay, your bile juice and pancreatic juice are coming through hepatopancreatic duct. Okay, from the liver and from the pancreas. Okay, next, intestinal juice. Okay, intestinal juice is also known as succus entericus. Okay, so these three juices involves in the digestion in the duodenum. So in duodenum, your food particles gets mixed with these three juices and further digestion occurs. Okay, after that your other food particles, they move to jejunum and ileum. In jejunum and ileum, simple substances get absorbed. Okay, so digestion completes here. From here, the undigested and unabsorbed substances, it goes to large intestine. Okay, in large intestine, only two type of functions occurs. Number one is absorption of water, minerals, and other drugs if present. They absorbed in the large intestine, but there is no digestive activity occurs in the large intestine. Fine. So only absorption of water, minerals, and drugs takes place. What is the second function means? The secretion of mucus. Okay, mucus are secreted from the large intestine. They lubricates and they helps in the lubrication, and they helps to smoothen the undigested food particles. Okay, so for the easy passage, the undigested and unabsorbable substances are called fecus. Okay, so this mucus, they lubricates and helps to adhere these undigested food particles into fecus for the easy passage. Then this undigested, that is fecus, it's temporarily stored in the rectum. Okay, for till defecation. What is defecation means? Elimination of the fecus is called defecation. So this fecus is temporarily stored in the rectum, and finally through the anus this defecation occurs. Okay, fecus is eliminated through anus. So this is how your food journey occurs. This is how it starts, this is how it ends. Fine. Now we are going to talk about the digestion of the food molecules in our body. What are the nutrients are present in the food molecules? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, nucleic acids, vitamins, etc. Right? So we are going to learn about how are these nutrients are breakdown and how we are getting energy. Okay? Shall we learn that? First, let's learn about the digestion of the carbohydrates. Okay. Carbohydrates. What is a carbohydrate? It is nothing but a starch. Okay. There are three types of carbohydrates are there. Monosaccharide, disaccharide, polysaccharide. What is monosaccharide? Simplest form of carbohydrates. Disaccharide. Combination of two monosaccharide. Polysaccharide. It is a polymer of monosaccharide or large number of monosaccharide combined to form polysaccharide. That's all. Okay. So now you know the definition. Now let's learn what are the monosaccharides. Monosaccharides, you have glucose, fructose, galactose. Okay, these are, we mostly consume that foods. Okay, glucose, fructose and galactose are the monosaccharides. Next, disaccharide. What are the disaccharides means? Maltose, lactose and sucrose. Okay, maltose, sucrose and lactose. These three are the disaccharides. Maltose is present in the germinating cereals and all, and sucrose is present in the cane sugar, and finally lactose is present in the milk. Okay, so these are the disaccharides. What are the polysaccharides? It is nothing but starch. Okay, so these are your carbohydrates. Now let's learn the digestion of the carbohydrate. Why I am saying this means, you ingest the carbohydrate as a polysaccharide. Okay, the enzymes present in your body breaks down the polysaccharide into disaccharide and further disaccharide into monosaccharide. So this is how your digestion of carbohydrate occurs. Okay, so what happens when you ingest the food, carbohydrate containing food? The saliva present here means your saliva contains two type of enzymes. One is amylase, another one is lysozyme. Salivary amylase is also known as ptyalin. Okay, salivary amylase is also known as ptyalin. Second one is lysozyme. Lysozyme is nothing but an antibacterial agent. It prevents the infection. That's all. Salivary amylase, it is the carbohydrate splitting enzyme. Okay, 30% of the carbohydrate digestion occurs in the mouth. Okay, with the help of the salivary amylase. 30%. So your digestion starts in the mouth itself. So 30% of the carbohydrate gets breakdown in the mouth itself with the help of salivary amylase. Next, it goes to stomach, right? In stomach, there is no digestion occurs in the carbohydrate because there is no high carbohydrate splitting enzyme present in the stomach. It goes to small intestine. In small intestine, there are three juices, right? Bile juice, pancreatic juice and intestinal juice. So here, pancreatic juice, it contains amylase. Pancreatic amylase. Fine. So pancreatic amylase is also known as amylopsin. Okay. So 70% of the carbohydrate digestion occurs in the intestine with the help of pancreatic amylase. Fine. So your carbohydrate gets breakdown. 30% occurs in the mouth, 70% occurs in the intestine with the help of salivary amylase in the mouth and pancreatic amylase in the intestine. Okay, in pancreas, due to pancreatic amylase, the 30% of the carbohydrate gets breakdown. How means starch. Due to the amylase, it breaks down into maltose. Starch is a polysaccharide. Maltose is a disaccharide. So polysaccharide gets breakdown into disaccharide with the help of amylase enzyme. Okay, now the disaccharide is present, right? So what happens in the small intestine? You have intestinal juices, right? The intestinal juices contains maltase, lactase, sucrase. Okay, maltase, sucrase, lactase, these three are the enzymes present in the intestinal juice. What happens means maltase breaks down the maltose into glucose plus glucose. Can you understand? Maltose is a disaccharide. This maltase enzyme splits the disaccharide into two monosaccharide. What are the two monosaccharide? Glucose plus glucose. Okay. Next, sucrase. It converts the sucrose into glucose plus fructose. Okay. Next, lactase. Lactase splits the lactose into glucose plus galactose. So this is how your polysaccharide, that is starch, that is carbohydrate, gets breakdown into disaccharide, and the disaccharide gets breakdown into monosaccharide. So this is how your carbohydrate digestion occurs. Okay. Next, moving to proteins. What is a protein? It is made up of amino acids. Okay. So your protein digestion, there is no digestion occurs in the mouth because there is no protein splitting enzyme present in your saliva or mouth. So it comes to stomach. In stomach you have gastric juice, right? So gastric juice contains hydrochloric acid and pepsinogen and prorenin. Okay, pepsinogen and prorenin, these two enzymes are in the inactive form. What happens? As soon as the food enters the stomach, your HCl, that is hydrochloric acid, converts the pepsinogen into active form, that is pepsin, and prorenin into active form, that is renin. Okay, so so this pepsin and renin, it plays a major role in the digestion. What occurs means this pepsin break down your protein into peptones and proteases. Pepsin break down the protein into peptone and proteases. Next, renin. Renin, it break down the casein. What is a casein? It is a milk protein. Fine. So your renin break down the casein into paracasein. Okay, casein is a milk protein. It break down into paracasein with the help of renin. Okay, so in the stomach, your protein is digestion occurs. So this is how your digestion of the protein will be. Next, moving to fat, that is nothing but lipids. Okay, so in your mouth there is no fat splitting enzyme present. It goes to stomach. In the stomach there is a gastric lipase present. Lipase break down the lipids. Okay, lipase is an enzyme break down lipid. In your stomach you have gastric lipase, but there is no significant amount of fat digestion occurs in the stomach. It is only insignificant digestion occurs. Okay. Next, in the intestine, major digestion of the fat occurs with the help of bile juice. Okay, bile juice contains bile salts. It plays a major role in the emulsification. What is emulsification? Simple, breakdown of large fat globules into small fat globules. Okay, that process of breaking down of large fat globules into small fat globules is called emulsification. That emulsification occurs by the bile salts that is present in the bile juice. Okay, and you have also pancreatic lipase and intestinal lipase. They also play a major role in the fat digestion. Your fat break down into, with the help of these enzymes, your fat breaks down into fatty acid and glycerol. Okay, fatty acid and glycerol, these are the breakdown products of fat. Okay, carbohydrate, protein, fat, over. Next, nucleic acids. What is the nucleic acids? There are two types of nucleic acids. You know that. RNA, DNA. DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid. RNA means ribonucleic acid, right? So, are they present in the food? Of course, it is present in the food. Like spinach, broccoli, Chinese cabbage, cauliflower. So, all these foods contains nucleic acids. Okay? Your nucleic acid, it is present in the food. If we ingested that, there is no enzyme present in the stomach and in the mouth also. So, in the intestine, you have pancreatic juice, right? In pancreatic juice, you have an enzyme called nuclease. That nuclease break down the nucleic acid into nucleotide. Okay? And you have intestinal juice also, right? It contains nucleotidase and nucleosidase. nucleotidase, nucleosidase. What these two enzymes do means, now the nucleic acid is broken down into nucleotides with the help of pancreatic nuclease, right? Now what happens here means that nucleotide break down into, with the help of nucleotidase, nucleotide break down into inorganic phosphate and nucleoside. Okay, nucleoside and inorganic phosphate. Nucleosidase present, right? It break down the nucleoside into bases and sugars. You may confuse that what are the bases, what are the sugars, inorganic phosphate, nucleotide, nucleosidase. Don't confuse. They are nothing but the parts of the DNA. I'll upload that video later. Okay. I'll explain that in the detail in the DNA video. Okay. So this is how your nucleic acid digestion occurs. And what is left? Vitamins. Okay. Vitamins is nothing but it break down with the help of an intrinsic factor. What is intrinsic factor? Where it is present means in your stomach you have gastric juice, right? The gastric juice contains an intrinsic factor. It helps in the absorption of the vitamin B12. Okay, so it plays a role in the vitamin absorption also. So this is how the molecules of your food molecules get digested and we are absorbed and we are getting energy. Fine. So I have almost covered everything in the digestion part, but if anything left in this video, I'll upload that video also. So please follow me and please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you will get the notifications of my channel. Okay. See you soon. Thanks for watching.